here's your cash offer, or we can list it. And that's not going to work in this market. You got to have multiple tools in your tool belt, and you got to be proficient at explaining all of them. So it really just comes back to refining your skills for a pivoting market. And I think this is the best time in history to buy creative finance deals. So if you're not doing that, shoot me a message. I can help you. You know, we were one of the original Subtube members too. I mean, Pace's group is incredible. But that is really where all this wealth is going to be created in the next few years.
I love that, man. And on the disposition side, what stuff have you changed to adjust for the disposition side?
Yeah, so we've had to spend way more time on it. Like, before, it was probably, like, truthfully, before we probably spent 90% of our time on dispo and 90% of our time on acquisition and 10% on dispo. Now it's very 50-50, very 50-50. Because if we got a deal back then, it would sell itself. Now we actually have to do the same kind of outreach we do for sellers. We gotta call them. We gotta text them. Hey, are you still buying? Hey, what areas are you buying in? Hey, what's your buying criteria? There's way more. Like, you actually have to try now to develop relationships with your buyers, and you should be, on what they want and what they're looking for. And you'll start to see some similarities with people on what they're actually wanting to buy. So then you can adjust your marketing criteria on the front end. But I guess for starters, it's really comes down to, when we get a property under contract, we're not just blasting it out to our lists. We're blasting it out to our lists. We're posting it on multiple Facebook pages. We're putting it on Facebook Marketplace. We're putting it on Craigslist. We're skip tracing all the neighbors of the property and calling on them. We are looking at previous listings in the neighborhood, calling on those agents, seeing if they had any offers that didn't get selected on all the surrounding properties around there, if they have any buyers. Like, we're doing literally all those steps in our dispo process now that we weren't doing it all before.
That's awesome stuff, man. I love the transition. So it's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of things, and I tell everybody there's fortunes to be made and lost in a transitioning market. You have to have systems and processes in place for those safety nets so you don't get your butt kicked, which is why I think having people like you that have already been through